You're listening to a podcast on the Podfix Network. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Little Bits and Pieces featuring Walrus. I'm your host for the episode, Christian Torres. Joining me today are
Matt Walker,
Jeffrey Fella.
Today we are talking about group minds.
Boy, that was good. I think we shaved off at least 10 seconds for me to talk about it, shaving off 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, it's about time that we cut to the chase with that intro so we can save time on our recording.
I really want to take a second to appreciate how quick that was.
Yeah,
Thank you. For those who don't know, there are like limitations sometimes in like recording space that we have for the month, and we're really rubbing up against the budget. So really just trying to get this one under the wire.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a moment of silence just to kind of reflect on how quickly we got to that.
So if we could just one moment.
Yeah, that was fast.
God bless America.
Yeah, in terms of time limits, really, I guess there's only so many hours in each of our individual lives that we're going to be able to make podcasts. So when you think about it, this is just a...
Speaking of time limits, what do you think is like the right amount of time for an improv show?
Ooh.
I love that group mind question.
Yeah, we were all thinking it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say 5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours.
Yeah.
When I was in college, we used to do this event that was called 12 Hours, where we did like 12 hours of improv, like all the way, I think in later years, they've since changed it to 6 hours, I imagine, because they realized 12 hours was too much.
Well, it's dangerous, right? It's like boxing, where if you go too many rounds, like the risk of fatality rises like exponentially.
Yeah, the Surgeon General does say that any more than 2 hours of improv is hazardous to your health.
Yeah, I'd believe it. I don't know. I mean, I end up with a lot of 15 to 20 minute sets. I never feel that they're long enough. Probably 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes to 45. An hour's long.
I would love an hour show.
Yeah,
the problem is it's hard to do.
Find people who are willing to listen to you for an hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the idea is it's like, how do you book a show where it's like you're doing an hour? Everybody else does, 20 minutes or 20, 30 or 3 hours? Like that's...
Yeah, 20 seems to be the very common thing. I'm very curious why that is, why 20 popped up as like that's the amount of time an improv show is.
It's the length of a pilot, roughly.
That is, you're right. About 22 minutes typically for a television show. Yeah.
With commercials, which improv shows do have.
Yeah, you got to there before me. But no, but I still find it really awkward when like we're at a show, right? And you'll go up to some of the other performers and you'll be like, hey, do you mind not performing? I want to do a longer set. And it really, at the Nitro Grand Prix we were doing, like you would go up to everyone and those sets are only 15 minutes. And a lot of those, people are just like really excited to be there. It's, they don't always have that opportunity to perform. And I just thought it was really not super cool that you would go up to them and be like, hey, I've been doing this a while. I deserve a longer set. Why don't you take a seat and I'll do a longer set.
Well, the problem is those sets are 15 minutes long. So I had to ask 4 teams not to perform to get that hour.
Yeah.
It's like if you're doing 20, I only have to ask 3 of the teams.
Because like the form that Matt does is like takes 20 minutes of silence at the top. It's like a preamble as like set dressing.
Right.
And then 20 minutes of silence at the end as well as like a come down. So it's like a really complex form. Most people don't get it. But
well, it does work though, because the individuals who are not improvising, it's almost like their set was sacrificed, and they know that as they sit in the audience and watch. So they don't leave. It's rude to leave.
Have you guys ever played the video game Inscription by any chance?
Inscription?
Yeah. It's like a card game, video game, but it also has a story.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
It like came out like a year or two ago, I think. It was pretty popular. It was got good reviews. Anyway, you sacrifice things. It's a good game. I'd recommend it to be listening to the show.
Okay.
Inscription.
Yeah, it's spelled with a Y though.
Wait, where?
The Y is where the second I would be in Inscription.
Oh, you've told me about this game before, I think. Because it sounds really familiar. Yeah.
It's a good game.
All right, we'll
for
take
those
your
of you
word
who don't
for
know,
it.
Wallers, we all like our video games. I like to play Puyo Puyo and Bubble Bobble. Matt's a big fan of the
Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg,
as well as NFL 2K, the original one.
Yeah, but really only those two games.
That still makes you gamer. And
I'm a gamer. What can I say?
Christian really likes all iterations of
Leisure Suit Larry.
Of Leisure Suit Larry. That is for those of you who missed the episode on the third thought. That was the third thought right there.
Yeah.
So do we feel like we're all on the same page? Do we feel like we have good group mind?
No,
I think so.
Oh shoot! Well, obviously not.
I feel.
Well, shit. All right. Well, that's been our episode. I guess we'll come back later and figure it out.
Try to work through this.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I love a good group mind. I feel like us three are on the same page all the time.
Yeah.
In that vein, it's kind of essential, right? Like if you're really going to be an improv troupe that is doing, I mean, of course you have jams that are fun and you can do improv with people that you don't really necessarily, vibe with. But if you're going to be like on a troupe and you guys are performing together, I think group mind is, in my book, probably one of the most number one, just like talked about. It's like,
it's like all over the news.
Yeah. It's a real hot topic these days.
It's making.
I feel like we got late to the ball game. Actually, doing this episode so late.
Yeah.
Because it's by the time this episode comes out tomorrow, it's gonna be old news. To be honest.
You mean tomorrow, April 27th?
April 27th,
2024.
Yeah, we record these a year in advance.
We record these in the future, just so you know.
And we're stockpiling.
Send it back. And we send it back like that one television show where she like talks to her dad through the radio. But it's time radio. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
it's time radio. You can't.
Is that the motto? Is it like it's time radio? And then
no, because it's like she has a radio in the present, and her dad, who I think is dead, has a radio in the past.
Radio? Because that's not what that movie's about.
And they talk through the radio, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, you're alive in the past."
Oh,
he's like, yeah, no shit. Thanks for telling me that, you stupid kids.
No. It's
I want to say it's called something like frequency or wavelength or some word like that.
Is that the one with Dennis Quaid in it?
Maybe. I've never seen it, but I've seen a trailer for it once. and I thought to myself, oh, maybe I'll watch that, but then it only got one season.
the sequel or the next season was going to be a TV. I can see in the past.
They change mediums every season.
Yeah, I love the idea of a TV from the past that shows things that happened in the past, and it's like, yeah, that's what
just
TVs do, my friend.
But it's obviously interactive, so
season
and in the same vein,
3.
a radio. No, but I want to point out that in the same vein, a radio. Oh shoot! No radio.
No radio are interactive. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You win this time, Matt.
But season 3 is like a photograph. It goes the opposite, and it just gets weirder and weirder.
Sometimes heightening is, going in the other direction.
Yeah, season 4 is a book.
That'd be a cool superpower. Like you carve. I swear this is relevant. You'll see the tie-in a second.
Yeah,
you carve. You know what? I realize how insane this sounds now, but it doesn't matter. You carve images into let's say bronze. We'll just pick a medium bronze, and those images represent a life in the past. You know what? Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Did you ever read the series of books, the Charlie Bone series of books?
No.
I've read one called Charlie Gets Boned.
No, it was like a ripoff of Harry
It's
Potter.
not that one, Matt.
But the
It's
main
not.
character, his power is that he could look at photos and then talk to the people in the pictures, and then like jump into the pictures once he got really good
Like
at
Wishbone.
it. Yeah, I guess he was. He was like Wishbone. Oh shit, maybe they're related. Maybe it's a family.
Oh my
thing.
God, Wishbone and Charlie teaming
Bone.
up. Oh my God.
It's kind of a played trope, no?
Is it?
Doesn't Mario do that in the
I
Super
think
Mario
so.
64?
Yeah.
Hey.
Charlie Bone and Wishbone get together and
they
beat Mario.
bone
They give him the bone treatment.
So that's. Anyway, yeah.
saw the Mario
Grind.
movie. It wasn't that bad actually. Pretty
Oh
good.
yeah?
Yeah, actually, it was pretty good. Pretty good time.
So
At the
Chris
theaters.
Pratt, huh?
Yeah, he wasn't great, but everything else, it was like, it's like he was there also, but it's like he didn't detract from the rest of the party.
How was Charlie Day as Luigi?
He was good. It was fine. Yeah. He wasn't in the movie that much.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I mean, yeah, compared to other people.
Did
He
you
was
see
good.
did you see the movie or did you see the trailer?
I saw the movie. Did you see the movie?
I saw the trailer.
Hmm.
Well,
Speaking of group mind.
Okay, let's know on the count of. Let's all say the thing we're thinking about.
Okay.
Just prove we have to say on the count of 3.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Bananas.
Mario.
Well,
Yeah, we were literally talking about
obviously-
Mario.
was talking about it.
obviously, in this group mind, there's
There's
two
one detractor.
that are wrong and one that's right. So I don't.
What did you even say?
Bananas, I believe.
Yeah, it was bananas.
God damn it. You're the audience that we don't like.
But you know who else does say banana? Weirdly enough,
Who's that?
in the Minions.
Since when?
I think since 2010 or 11.
So Minions say banana since 2010?
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Same people who made the Mario movie too. Fun fact.
Oh,
What a group mind
what
that
a
those
group
guys
mind.
have.
No, I feel like we're all very much on the same page very often. How do you think you get to that?
I think it's
Hanging out.
time spent. Yeah, it's investment. You know,
I mean,
you gotta-
personality has to be like this. I remember, I forget who I was speaking to, a director at one of the theaters in Chicago, like head director or whatever, and she was like, "Yeah, we're doing this new comedy school thing. I don't know if I believe you can teach funny though." And I kind of have thought about that for a while. And it's like at a certain point, it's just like there's a personality. Like there are people that no matter how much you do improv together, I don't know if it's ever gonna, like, you could have an eternity and I don't know if it's gonna click, you know?
Well, it's like with any relationship. It's like there needs to be that initial spark, but then you do need to put in the work, you know, and make it, you know, and make it work. I'm assuming. This feels like I'm kind of.
What's the key to
God.
what's the key to 50 years of marriage?
You know, it's you know, you got to recommit to that person every day. You know,
That's
like,
beautiful.
You gotta. That's falling in love every single day.
Smile, find something to smile about every morning. That's what you taught me.
Have you ever seen that it was like an not early internet, but like mid early internet thing where it was like you wake up next to your girlfriend. It showed a picture and it was like a girlfriend who's laying in bed who had just had their period or whatever, and there was a blood stain. And it was like, what do you do if you wake up next to that, whatever? And this guy wrote this really long thing where he's like, I would take her, I would hold her like a baby and put her in the tub, wash her feet, and like do all this stuff. And all these other people are just like, bro, it's her period. Like it happens all the time. Like, just be like, oh, okay.
I don't remember
Wait,
this.
you not? Is that not what you do?
I just thought no. I just thought it was the funniest thing. It's like, I will make her a wonderful dinner and a pleasant thing.
You're going into Werner Herzog. Right
Yes.
now.
That is only one thing in which one can do when embracing the darkness.
Draw
that is the period.
Draw the bath. Put the ducky in the bath.
I just
Do
thought
you
it
think
was,
Werner Herzog ever went on Sesame Street? I feel like he must have been on Sesame Street at some
Elmo,
point,
I
right?
wish you would calm down.
I think he was on. I don't think they knew. I think he was on,
He just
though.
snuck on. He's like, I would be nothing but a fly on the wall. I want to see what these puppets do when they don't have hands inside of them.
I need to see the big bird. Show me the big bird.
Show me the
Show me. But yeah, but I feel like there's this element of someone's got to write the
Sure. Oh yeah,
we're getting there. We're getting there. It's all part of the process.
No, Christian gave real meaningful relationship advice, and you just want to
Thank you, Geoff.
So I learned
Which
a lot.
also applies to an improv group.
I learned a lot.
All relationship advice can be applied to an improv
Who did the what's
so good.
Who's the very famous Japanese film director?
Akira Kurosawa?
No, I think it's Quentin Tarantino who did the one where, and he had everybody live together for a while they were filming.
That sounds like so many
300,
films.
I think, or
300, yeah.
Yeah, I think when QT was on 300, he had all 300 of the guys living together.
What was that? Sleepless in Seattle?
To live together.
It's part of the yeah.
It's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They all had to live.
Which one?
And they all had to be in character as well, and it was just very uncomfortable. Gene Wilder kept being like, "My Oompa Loompas."
I hear Hugh Grant plays an Oompa Loompa in the new one.
Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean by new one? Like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
No. It's a new movie coming out called Wonka with Timothée Chalamet.
Wait, seriously?
Who plays Willy Wonka? Yeah.
Wait, no, that's out, isn't it?
No. If it was out, I'd be there right now.
You'd just be there? Huh. I think I knew that, but what is he plays an Oompa Loompa?
Hugh Grant, I believe, yeah. I just saw an article about it earlier today.
Man, Hugh Grant is coming back. His big comeback. But what do you think about like group mind in like not a team? Like you mentioned jams and stuff, but like
I think
how do you tap into something quickly, you know?
I think there is a common ethos that's shared amongst the players, and it's sort of a sensus communis, if you will, that can be. I mean, okay, seriously, that is kind of what I think. It's like there's a pattern. No, because it's recognizing the game, right? If you are like kind of just naturally tuned into what goes on in a scene, that's what a game sort of fosters, is that everybody's on the same page because the patterns are recognizable to everyone playing around, you know? If I show you, if I count 1, 2, 3, almost everyone there is going to be ready to say 4, you know? Like that's
Christian and I know that you really mean 5.
Because I can't count.
Right.
And
because we know you.
That's the next level. That's the difference between a jam and a true troupe, is they have your back when you can't count.
Yeah.
Right.
We got you, man.
Thanks.
Just
that sort of does make sense weirdly enough, where you can't really take the same risks, I think, when you're playing with like at jams, like where it's like I do feel like I'm making bolder choices when I'm with like an established team that I'm with. I'm kind of doing things, and there is that sort of sense of like, I'm gonna fuck with you a little bit, I'm gonna throw you something that you might not expect. But there is that more of a, when you're playing communally, there is that sense of like, okay, we are all lifting each other up here. I'm not gonna really throw you too many curveballs. I'm gonna be playful, but it is way more. I think we're building this together, and let's go. And 1, 2, 3.
Imagine, celebrating the human form by embracing in coitus with an individual you've loved for very long.
This is starting to sound very problematic.
Versus no.
So you're saying when I'm in a jam, first thing at first, I want to imagine I'm having sex with someone I love.
Yes, but that's not relevant to this. This is different. So this, you are making passionate love to someone you have been in a relationship for many a year.
Is this before the jam? When is it? When are we doing
this is a metaphor.
Okay.
That can be embodied in the jam, I guess. Depends on the improv you're doing. But then the verses, you're just getting busy with someone you just met 3 minutes ago at Burger King. That's not the same.
What's your approach?
Me personally?
You see somebody at the Burger King. You're in line. You're determined to make this metaphor work.
I hit him with the smirk, and it's all butter from there.
Let's see that smirk.
But no, okay,
I'm going to describe it when you do it. Okay, Geoff is doing a sort of Lego man smile off to the side.
It looks almost identical to the slanted mouth emoji.
yeah, it does. Which I think is how people recognize it. They go, I know that.
Doesn't matter who I do it to. Every single time, it's like, yep. Next thing you know.
Wow, that's impressive. Like butter.
It's like butter. But then you, what are you gonna do? Because you can't. In the middle of that, you could just like an improv. You can't stop and say like, "Well, do you like this sort of scene work?" You know, you can't be like, "Well."
I mean, you check in. Eye contact is always helpful.
Wait, in improv?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I feel like there is a thing that people tap into.
I'm sorry, I feel like that metaphor does break down because you can stop in the middle of sex and check in. You don't need to keep the scene going like you need to do an improv. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess what I assumed was seeming like you're awkward and being like, oh, actually could be, interpreted as being polite and considerate. So sure, yeah, I guess. Why not? Let's go with the...
I just feel like because of the whole improv thing, like the only reason you don't stop is because then it would be weird in front of an audience to be like, hey, do you want to do a scene about bees?
Do you want me to admit I've never made love to someone I met at Burger King? Is that what you want? Because fine.
Yeah. We wouldn't mind hearing you say that.
I have never...
Sorry, the cat being there adds a dimension to me. So what were you saying, Matt?
Yeah, what were you saying, Matt?
No, I want to get this as admissible evidence real quick.
I've never had sex.
In a Burger King.
I mean, right? Yeah, that's true too.
Yes. We need to hear you audibly say it though. Burger King's, we've gotten a lot of emails.
What I'm because we're trying to go for a Burger King sponsorship. Is far more embarrassing, but sure, yeah, I've never had sex.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, what you're implying though is like would be scandalous, I'm
like the good boy of this group. Don't make me say this.
Everyone says
you're
that.
The only one with
you the good boy of this group.
You're the one who has a child.
That's wholesome.
Nah, we know how the sausage gets made.
We've seen behind the curtain,
and we know how it gets messed around with as well, and then makes a baby with.
I don't get it.
Gross. I don't know why I made that.
Yeah. See,
I feel like we have to like. I feel like this one is like R-rated. This is an NC-17 episode of Little Bits and Pieces.
We haven't said the F word. We haven't. It's
we
like
get one, I think, right?
It's like "Dude, Where's My Car" or whatever on cable. What the fluff, man? Yeah. Her boobs are nice. Fluff me, bro.
Her boobs.
Yeah.
Is that a line from "Dude, Where's My Car"?
I don't know. I haven't seen "Dude, Where's My Car" since I was 13, maybe. In 17 years.
Where does their car end up being?
I don't
in the garage or something. That'd be kind of funny, right?
I think it is last somewhere. Place. Yeah. I think what happens is there's like a truck in front of their car when they go to look where it is.
like what you would call like when they move that bus and then it's like home improvement thing.
Yeah, no, they were doing an episode of Extreme Homemaker next door.
That's the one.
Home makeover.
Extreme Homemaker. I'm here to get domestic.
This episode on Extreme Homemaker.
Don't forget your vegetables.
Mary has a dinner party. It's sick as fuck.
It's sick as fuck. There's our two.
Oh,
No
shit.
more.
Oh,
No more.
shoot.
Oh, crap.
I was going to go into graphic detail about Burger King.
Okay.
I mean, you can if it's about their burgers.
It's
You go
gonna,
into
it's gonna
graphic detail.
have, no, it's gonna have some swear words.
It has to do with the burgers, but
They're charbroiled burgers.
I've never
Yeah.
made love to a living man. No matter how I say
what
that, it
the
sounds
hell?
bad. I was gonna say, I was trying to suggest that I've had sex
Made
with
love to a
burgers, but
Whopper?
not a person. Yeah, but it just sounds like I'm like a necrophile or something.
I've never
So I
had
really-
sex with a live cow. Huh? That's not good.
Moo? That's Burger King's new. Yeah, can we cut this episode, please?
Waffles
Yeah.
are pretty good though.
I
I think compare on
I've
the
never had a Burger King burger.
really.
Yeah, that is actually true.
I feel like
well, I mean,
on
the
the
other
fast
thing
food
I also
landscape,
have never.
I really like. I think Whoppers are up there for me, and in terms of fast
Really?
food burger, yeah.
I don't like them. They're like
Really?
synthetically charbroiled.
Whoa,
they
those
taste
them's
like
fighting
shit.
words.
Okay, but the chemicals they use to
Okay,
achieve
they
that
don't taste
charbroil-
like shit.
I
Even
know.
if you think it's a
Okay.
bad burger, it's like it tastes like a burger.
I realized as I said it, I was just like, "You're like, I like Burger King," and I'm like, "No, they taste like shit." That's not. I
Not
think
cool,
they taste
bro.
like shit.
I mean, you can think that it tastes like a burger.
I feel like we've discovered we don't have good group mind in this episode.
Well, teach by non-example.
Yeah, I
Or-
wouldn't say follow any of our examples.
I mean, I
this
would say it's
podcast
like the
around.
exception that proves the rule, maybe, or it's like
do as we say, not as we do. Although we barely said anything on what to do.
yeah. Well,
Christian had great
make eye
relationship
contact.
advice.
Yeah.
Actually, he's been dropping wisdom the whole show. Do you have any other things that we could learn to live by? Wait, can we play the sting? This is wisdom with Christian.
Oh,
Matt
sure.
from
Wisdom.
Sting.
With Christian.
You know,
That would be a
remember
different
at the end of the day that like your employer, if you die tomorrow, will replace you. But to everybody else in your life, you're irreplaceable. So, remember that next time you think about putting in more time in the office.
What if my wife is my boss?
Well, then that's some kinky shit.
Oh, that's okay, but Burger King's not.
What? You mean having sex in a Burger King?
I don't know
'Cause
anymore.
Burger King's fine. Having sex with burgers at a Burger
Yeah.
King, not okay.
I mean, your wife can be your boss as long as you're on the same page and
I
as
just
long as
wanna
you have
point out,
good group minds.
It's not
And as long-
illegal. It's not illegal to have sex with a burger.
Sorry, I was trying to bring it home.
Oh, sorry. What was
No,
yours?
it's fine.
No,
It's
I
fine.
mean, my moral was pretty important, but what was yours?
No, we'll circle back. We'll find it again. I always feel like we need to end it though by saying like, well, in the grand scheme of things, then tie into the theme of the episode with the example. It's like, and I guess you could really say that it was all about group mind, and you find a way, but we haven't found it yet. We'll circle back.
Well, we have, 2 minutes to do it?
We have 2.5 minutes. Yeah.
Before we run out of time, I do just want to say I feel bad. Like I was very crass, and our listeners are kind of probably a little shocked and dismayed to hear. We put a lot of faith in Geoff. He's usually,
You're
again,
not
the good boy
of the
group.
podcast.
Usually the good boy of the podcast, and I just want everyone out there, all our Cowboys, to know, yes, I slipped up. I fell from grace this episode. I hurt some people. I said some things I didn't mean.
You're like the Waluigi of the podcast.
And well,
Isn't he the evil Luigi?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess he's no Bowser. Yeah, I guess you're right.
let's try one more time to say what we're thinking, all on three.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Mario.
Oh, Mario.
All right, well, Mario's close
I
enough.
straight up waited till you said something and then said the
Don't
same.
ruin the magic. Don't ruin the magic.
Yeah, I'll cut them so they go. I'll just take you saying Mario, Geoff, just then and put it on the first one, and we'll just skip this whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, well, then we should end it like. And so, as you can see, Wallace is really good with group mind. We've practiced many years, and we share a close bond that cannot be broken by time or man.
What?
No,
I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna end it.
yeah, I was saying no because you said you're going to cut the rest of it, so I wanted to give you a little
Oh.
blurb at the end.
No, I meant just that one spot.
So
that
you
was
could-
confusing.
You could just cut ahead to this.
All
the
right,
audience knows.
Geoff, you're the bad boy of the group. You're the worst boy of the group.
Well, every group has different roles in it, which comprise the group, but together,
30 seconds.
there's some greater than the sum of their parts. Voltron or something, a pop culture reference. And then Where Walrus, Minnie and Say Banana. Check out the show. It'll be back next week.
Do you got any shows coming up next week, Christian?
Not really, unless you live in Chicago, in which case reach out to me personally.
Okay, we're done.
Oh shit! Fuck! Giddy up! And then,
Hi, I'm Christian Torres from Walrus. If you're interested in supporting this show, the best thing that you can do is rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure to check out walrus.com, that's WALLARES, for a full list of our socials, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Stay tuned for news about any live shows that we may have, and new episodes of Little Bits and Pieces come out every Thursday wherever you get your podcasts.
The show you've just listened to is a part of the Podfix Network. To listen to other shows on the network, head over to podfixnetwork.com, follow on Twitter @Podfix, and join the Podfix Nation at facebook.com/Podfix.